Okay, I'm going to review setting up the MK formation tester using the Hawk network device along with corresponding software. It's very simple to run this device. The first thing you need to do is choose an aperture, which is typically blue, is the most common aperture to use, with the color side up. I choose this aperture and I must place it in the holder in the upper right. I press it in firmly. That's quite straightforward, okay? The next thing I want to do is connect the power cord to the formation tester and to the Hawk network device. Now notice I've got a piece of cardboard separating the two. That way the MK tester does not damage the Hawk underneath. So you could put something else, but I like cardboard. That works quite well. So on the back of the MK, I've got a 110 plug and an on-off switch. Okay, so I plug in the outlet, I turn it on, and then for the Hawk, I've got a 5-volt power supply, and I plug that in, and that turns the Hawk on automatically. There is no on-off button, and very important, don't forget this, the ribbon cable from the Hawk must connect to the back of the formation tester. It's a snug fit. You can use number 4 screws to hold it in tight, but probably it suffices just to press it in. MK Systems devices usually have a serial port on the back. This is an older system. This is a 25-pin serial port. That's used for old software, not for the current version. So once I've got the Hawk cable connected and both power supplies connected, I turn the machine back around. And I've turned on the MK tester, and the Hawk is on already. And I have one more item to connect, and that is the Ethernet cable. So I plug that in the front left of the Hawk. I make sure both buttons are in the down position, so that clicks into place. I load my paper. In this case it's already preloaded, but I'll load it again just for the benefit of showing you how it's done. So notice the drum has a blackened out area. The paper is going to actually be placed on the clear section, not the blackened area. You just overlap a bit in this section. So I want the paper again in the clear glass section. So I lift up one hold down rod, place the paper underneath, spin it around, and then lift up the other side. Oop, be careful when I do that. And slide it underneath. There we go. Then I choose the range I want to use to test. On the older systems, we have a range which is actually the optical sensitivity. Okay, so range is the range of sensitivity I want to use. It's either 1, 2, or 3. The older systems, like this one here, use a system of sensitivity of 1 being the medium sensitivity and 2 being low sensitivity and 3 the highest. So that's how they set things up in the 90s. Today, instead of numbers, it would be low, medium, and high. So I typically choose medium sensitivity, which would be number 1 range for the old systems. On the newer systems, it'd be the middle choice and it'd be labeled low rather than number 2. So we use actual names, low, medium, high, rather than numbers of the old systems. This system doesn't have the reflection capability. A lot of our systems have an option here to choose reflection instead of a transmission scan. So I'm just going to run the transmission test. All systems have transmission. If this did have its button, I'd press the button to switch to R to show that as well. But in this case, it's just transmission. All systems have transmission. Now I choose the test I want to run. I recommend running the form and flock test, the formation and flock test. And I obtain that by turning the select pot all the way counterclockwise, and not too hard, just it's a very smooth running, it moves easily, until it says run form and flock. So this runs the formation and flock test. And then I just press enter, and for the first time I'm running the test, I have to press it twice. Now when it says drum, that means I have to, in the older system, adjust, move the drum just a bit to get into light. The newer systems will actually move it for me. The blackened section was blocking, so that's why I had to move it. The newer systems, it'll automatically adjust the drum until it detects light. So I'm going to let this test run and then we'll get to the software next.